All right, what up, Dr. Mark Manera? What's up, man?
How's it going? I'm doing good. How are you doing? How was your
Good
weekend?
man. Yeah, not a bad weekend. I tried to chill a little bit, didn't get too much chilling done. Had to do some chores, got put to work, but other than that, not too bad. What about you?
Similar. I got to catch up on some sleep, but yeah, I was
There you
running
go.
around and checking off the to-do list. So I got some stuff done.
Good deal, man. Well, hey, I've ran across you on LinkedIn. You're starting to get a good presence out there with the message that you're putting out. But real quick, first of all, trucking, freight, fitness, all things I love. So that's one of the reasons why you're here. And did you just graduate like a couple years ago?
So I actually graduated from physical therapy school in December. So it's been 6 months, if anything. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So how old are you?
I am 25.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So how did you get started in this mission for trucking and fitness, and where did you find that niche? Where did you see that was an issue?
Yeah, so well, I like you kind of have mentioned, I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and I was actually in the clinic working and rehabbing, working in a outpatient physical therapy clinic, and had the opportunity to work with a ton of drivers. And being in transportation and trucking, more than anyone that a lot of people in the trucking side of things have like generations of family of being drivers, family in trucking, family in freight, and I just didn't have that experience. And so my first experience with drivers, with the industry honestly as a whole, was in the clinic rehabbing them, and honestly kind of saw firsthand the struggles that a lot of drivers have, and the effect that for a lot of the drivers in the clinic that I was rehabbing, honestly their health was one of the biggest underlying factors why they were there in the first place. And so I was just really inspired by that. I kind of, from it's going to physical therapy. Have you ever been to physical therapy before?
Oh yeah, man. All the
Okay.
injuries I've had. I played college football, so I've been to physical therapy many a times.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not like going to a doctor's office where it's like you're in and out in 5 minutes. I got to know the people, and I got to have an
Sure.
actual relationship with them, and learning about that lifestyle and kind of the unique barriers and struggles that come with the lifestyle, specifically with exercise and trying to eat healthier. I was just really inspired, and I kind of, as I'm asking questions, realized that honestly no one had came in and really done a good job of meeting them where they're at and giving them a
Sure.
way to exercise and eat healthier anywhere at any time. And so I was like, well,
Sure.
why can't I do that? And so I started the trucking fitness company. And I'm a little bit of a research nerd, so during that process I went and dug into some of the literature behind the health of drivers, and I was like dumbfounded on some of the statistics. You got 85% of the drivers that are overweight. One in every seven suffers from type 2 diabetes. And the one that like really kind of shook me was that as a group, truck drivers have a life expectancy 16 years less than the average population.
So it's
And
60 years old for the most part, roughly.
yeah, I don't know the number off the actual number. I just know, the research shows that, in general, they're living less. And when you look at the lifestyle and, how many, honestly, how much sacrifice it is to be a driver, and then you finally get to retire, enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you get 16 years cut off the back end. It's like, man, that sucks. Why would
Yeah.
anyone want to do this? And so,
Right.
I think it's an industry wide problem, and I think there's a solution out there. I just think, prior to me getting started, I'm not sure if anyone's really put their head down and tried to create that solution.
So you're doing physical therapy with these drivers. I'm assuming multiple drivers are coming in, and you're starting to help these guys. They're getting a little bit better, and you're like, maybe I could do this for more people. So what's your steps? Like, what's the thought process? How do you get the business started?
Yeah, so prior to starting the trucking fitness company, I already had experience with online exercise and nutrition coaching. I was actually really big into CrossFit in my undergrad years, and that turned into powerlifting and Olympic weightlifting. And so I actually had a company prior to the trucking fitness company that was online exercise and nutrition, personal training, basically one-on-one coaching for weightlifters. I worked with some professional CrossFit athletes, and I had that experience on the online world, so I knew kind of the business side of online training, and I just said, okay, now I need to learn a ton about the lifestyle of drivers, and I need to learn a lot about this industry, which is still in the process every day, because it's just
Sure.
something that I'm sure takes a long time to fully understand, and you probably continue to learn every day.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been doing this now for a little over 8 years, and it's all I've done since football. And still, man, I don't know the habits and routines of every driver's different. Obviously, you got some that are in shape, but that's probably like a 1% or even less than that of all drivers. Then I'd say maybe you have 10% that might be healthy, and then the other percentage is really struggling. That's just a stereotype, right? And that's good or bad, but it is the stereotype of a driver. Now, also just as bad is the office workers that are in transportation. So, I mean, it's funny, like you hear your freshman 15 when you go to college, right? Well, that's from alcohol and drinking and partying. I'd say in transportation, it's probably like a freight 30 or something, like a logistics 30 that you put on from just sitting at a desk, eating snack food, not being able to get up, brokering freight, having to stay long hours, not getting the best nutrition. People blow up quick in this industry. I'm talking about like athletes that were really prime athletes at one point, now just blowing up out of shape. So, how could you bring some awareness to that as well as trucking? That could almost be a different avenue for you.
Well, exactly, and actually, it's funny that you bring that up, because my business partner and I have been talking a lot about that. And one thing that I think, especially as we're moving forward and wanting to work with some of these enterprises and trucking companies, and really creating a cultural change of health and wellness, I think everyone has to be able to speak the same language. And so, one thing that we have already built out and now starting to shift to is, a full solution for a 3PL or trucking company, where we've got a program that's specifically designed for anyone within the organization, so that we can start making a cultural shift with health and wellness for everyone, and everyone can start having these better eating habits, exercising. Obviously a program designed for you and I, who are home every night and can cook or have access to a gym, is different than our program for a driver. But I think it's
Sure.
really important. And I completely agree. I think I look at, I think that there's kind of two parts with health and wellness. I think, every person it's a personal decision to live a healthier life. And there's some personal things of, like, you have to want to make a change. But I think you can also take a step back and look at industries and look at cultures within a company, and see that there is an industry wide problem. And I think that there needs to be a solution for the whole industry, to help each of those individuals within it realize, hey, I want to make a personal change, and I want to do it, and it's actually possible. And so I think that's huge.
Sure. And not every company has like a weight room or an exercise facility, which I think should be standard at every, logistics, transportation company, anybody that has drivers, anybody that has employees. That's my opinion. I mean, we don't have one. We're working on it. But like, I think that's mandatory. Like, I have my own home gym. I'm always going to the gym. I try to stay active. A body in motion is going to stay in motion. A body at rest, it's going to stay at rest, right?
Yes.
So, and with truck drivers, they're sitting for so long. They might be in motion driving, but they're sitting for so long, for 10 hours a day. It really is beneficial for these guys to get up and do some type of something. So, what is the workout routine that you're advising these guys to do when they're on the road?
Yeah, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there of, you have to figure out a way to, I always tell the driver specifically, this is specifically for the drivers, that you have to figure out a way that you can get some movement, some exercise, a workout in anywhere at any time, because your day to day is different every single day. You're potentially in a different area of the world every single day, and you don't know if you're going to have access to a gym. You don't know if you're going to have access. You're not going to be at the terminal, and maybe you have time to go to your terminal's gym. And so what we try to do is, our programs are based off of, number one, where they want to exercise at, so that we've got programs they can do in the back of their truck, outside of their truck, or at home. We've got programs based off of their current fitness level and then also their goals. And so a lot of our workouts in general are circuit based because I look at it as getting the most bang for their buck. And a lot of these people they've got 20 minutes and let's do some resistance based exercise while getting their heart rate up and just kind of check two boxes at the same time and get a sweat going. And we give them all a resistance band. So it's super easy to store in their truck. With a little creativity, you can do almost any exercise with it.
Sure.
And it's awesome. And so we've got so we deliver our coaching through an app on each driver's phone, and they literally just open the app, click start, and they put their phone down, and it has video and written instruction on exactly what to do, and they just follow along and get it done.
Now, about how many people are you guys working with right now? Is there a database of drivers or amount of companies that you're working with?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of companies, and one thing that I'm really excited about is that we just partnered with our first health insurance company, which I think is going to be a really game changer. And it's really cool because we found a company called Benefits for Trucking that is a specific. They only do trucking, and so they
Sure.
specialize in small fleets, 2 to 150 driver companies, and every person who buys a health insurance policy through Benefits for Trucking is automatically going to get a membership to the trucking fitness company, which is
Okay.
really exciting.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I think it's from my research, it's the first driver specific program that's been offered through a health insurance plan. So I really think we're starting to kind of push that push things forward and say, hey, if we're really wanting to make a change within this industry, it can't just be giving them a cookie cutter program that anyone is built for the average person. We have to give solutions that are specific to the people that are using the program.
Sure.
And so I think it's gonna be really cool to kind of see that we're just releasing that this week, actually, the partnership, and announcing it this week. And so in the next couple of months, it'll be really cool to start to see some of those people get in the program, get some of their feedback, and start exercising and eating healthier.
So how old is the company itself? Is it 6 months old?
Yeah, so no, I started it while still in physical therapy school, so it's about
Okay.
a year and a half old, and
Cool.
things, I think we had a really good baseline of content we created, a program, and then around 6 months ago, I actually things obviously got a little bit more serious, and I'm full time on it now that I graduated, and things are moving in the right direction, which I'm really excited about. And I think going 6 months from today, I'll hopefully will be even further along. And I think
Yeah, for sure.
I think that this industry is realizing that health and wellness needs to be something that's talked about, and I really feel like we're moving, like you said, in the right direction of kind of being a thought leader and pushing things forward
Yeah.
for the whole industry.
Now, I'm assuming this is also going to come with branding, promoting your business and stuff like that. So are you out giving speeches? Are you out coaching one-on-one or doing group sessions with clients? How's that work?
Yeah, so everything's online, and I think we do that because freight is always moving, and saying, hey, you need to be at this truck stop at this time just doesn't make sense for
Right.
99% of drivers. And so I have spoke at a couple of events, always open to come out and speak at if there's any events that people listening want to talk about health and wellness, and talk about the impact that can have within the industry. I'm always open to that. I'm going to an event in June, TMSA, the Transportation Marketing and Sales Association. They're having
Okay.
an annual meeting, and I'm going to be speaking there, and actually doing some fitness classes in the morning for everyone participating. So I'm
Cool.
really excited about that.
Yeah. So talk about your day a little bit. I like to talk to people, especially being a business owner, creating this vision, everything yourself, and you're big into fitness and transportation. So it all mixes with the things I'm interested in. So what's your day starting out like? Are you waking up early? Are you getting a workout in? Are you
Yeah.
working from home? Like, what's it look like? What's
Yeah.
a day in your life?
So a day in my life, I'm waking up between 5:45 and 6:30. Depends on the morning. And then I'm going to the gym right now. So all through COVID, I was working out in my basement. I've got a gym at home. I realized that it is very hard for me to disconnect if I'm in the same house because I work from home. Yeah, exactly. And so I started going to the YMCA and working out. I was swimming a couple mornings a week and then lifting. Now it's kind of just lifting and doing some other cardio. But then I try to get started with work between 7:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, and work from home. I normally try to set my schedule the night before so that I have the major tasks that I want to get done, and then also kind of time block things, because if I just have a to-do list, it's really easy for me just to stretch something that should take 30 minutes out to 2 hours,
I
right?
understand. Yep, I
And so
understand.
I'm trying to be a little bit more efficient and focus on things that push the business forward. And so that's it. I normally try to eat pretty healthy, high protein, a lot of fruits and vegetables. And I started actually uh, late last week. I started eating overnight oats in the morning, which
Okay.
I've never had overnight oats. Someone gave me a recipe, so I gave it a shot, and that's kind of now part of my breakfast every morning.
All right. Hey man, that's cool. So you've got plenty of experience when it comes to working out and stuff. So you probably don't necessarily have a plan. I'm assuming you kind of go in there, feel it, listen to your body, kind of do your own thing. Is that right? Or do you have a set plan that you put yourself through?
I follow a plan. I coming from the weightlifting and powerlifting world, I like to have a set plan. Right now, I would say maybe I kind of categorize it more as power building. I like to do, the squat, bench, deadlift. I like overhead press, but then I also like to do some more hypertrophy and bodybuilding style
Sure.
exercises. Have a little arm day, do some of the machines, and stuff like that.
So you'd do, like, if you're doing a power building program, you'd do like all your power movements in the first part of the week and then do the same workouts at the end, but do hypertrophy with it. Is that what you're doing? More auxiliary
So
sets towards the end of the week?
yes and no. Like my typical, like today, for example, what I did is I'll have so basically I'll do some type of squat twice a week. The first squat will be between 1 to 5 reps, depending on the cycle and the timing, and then I'll do a squat bench. So I'll do an upper body and lower body on the same day, and then at the end I'll do a couple of accessory or auxiliary lifts to in some type of circuit way to get my heartbeat going a little bit
Sure.
more and build in a little bit more volume at the end of the day. And then later in the week, so like for example, this morning I deadlifted sets of 5, and so later in the week I'll do some type. I don't know if it'll be an RDL. I don't remember what my program is, RDL or some type of other deadlift accessory exercise for a little bit higher volume.
I got you. Well, cool, man. I'm glad to see you're hammering it out like that. A lot of people just kind of walk in there, don't have a plan, don't have an idea, and just figure it out, and then they never do anything. Just like with your time blocks, if you say, "Hey, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes, see how far I can get," or "I need to get this workout, and this workout done," they're not going to get done. They're just going to do the one thing that's easy, right?
Well, I gotta ask you, what is your workout
Oh
routine?
man, so I'm 31, so I've got 6 years on you. It varies for the most part. So in college, we were very power clean,
Uh-huh.
deadlift, bench, and squat heavy. So like that was 4 main days, and then we were all varied around it. So I kind of had my feel for all that heavy lifting in college. We're just getting banged up. And then I got into pro wrestling, which made zero sense from not wanting to be banged up after college was over. At the same time, I got to logistics. Then I started going more of like an aesthetic route, more of like a bodybuilding type route instead of just like strength and functionality and explosion, because pro wrestling's fake, right? You just got to look good and then go out there and do the stuff. So it was more of bodybuilding. So I did a lot of like Haney Ramrod, like the FST7. So I would do like the fascia stretch training. So say if I was doing like today chest, I would do like 4 exercises of chest, whatever. Say it's incline dumbbell, flat dumbbell. I'm gonna do a hammer strength machine, and then at the very end, I'm gonna do like maybe cable crossovers. Well, I'll do 4 sets of 8 to 10 on those major lifts, and then at the very end, I'll do 7 sets of 10 to 15 for like the fascia stretch training to try to throw blood in there. So I've found that's an easier way as I'm getting a little bit older to not have to go as heavy, but also get the same amount of work and volume in. But then I'm also a meathead, so I'll go through phases where I just want to like lift heavy a lot. And I'm a big Michael Hearn fan, so there's the power building. So I mean, I listen, man. I've done a little bit of all of it. The only thing I haven't really ever done is CrossFit. But as far as everything else, I've dabbled in it all, and I enjoy it all.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. And I wanted to ask, so because when I saw on your profile the pro wrestling, were you in the WWE?
No, okay. So I have to tell the story every time. So like, you know who the Ultimate Warrior is?
Sorry.
No. This is the whole part about meeting people on the internet. So, do you know who the Ultimate Warrior is? The wrestler.
Yeah.
You could Google him.
Okay.
If you Googled him, you'd see who it is. Okay, so I used to paint my face in football like him. When he was older, he got in contact with me. Anyways, through me being in contact with him and him asking me if I wanted to play football in the pros or wrestling, I was like, I'm realistic. I probably can't do both. He got me in contact with WWE. So I had a tryout as soon as I graduated college because they recruited me in football because they recruited a bunch of college athletes. So I had my tryout, went down there, and I broke my neck a couple times, so that's a little iffy. So I didn't get to do the first day of the tryouts. I got cleared the second and third day, did well. And then they told me, hey, man, you got a shot, keep doing it. So I hit the indies. So the independent circuit's like doing like AAA, AA ball in baseball, think of it that way. So I started doing that in 2014. So I would be working logistics, a full schedule, 5 days a week. And then I'd usually work a local show on Thursdays and then travel Friday, Saturday, Sunday, be back on Monday. So I did that for 4 years. Then I hurt my knee and took a little bit of time off. And now I just do like one show a month because my kid really, really loves pro wrestling. And I'm like his favorite wrestler. That's the only reason why I'm still doing it. But it makes me look halfway decent, half naked in front of people once a month. So it keeps me in shape.
What's your thoughts on Logan Paul getting into WWE and some of the progressions there?
Yeah. So I'm a big Logan Paul fan. At first I was a little skeptical with them guys like crossing over into boxing a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I guess, Logan, he's kind of just doing it for the money, but he can box a little bit. Then you got Jake, who was like, okay, he's going to be the bum. He's just doing it for the money for sure. And he's just lighting everybody up.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it real? Is it fake? I don't know. I don't really give a
But it's great entertainment. It's awesome.
It's great. Dude.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic content creators. They're great at what they do as far as branding and promoting. The podcast is great. And then when Logan did WrestleMania, I told everybody, I was like, listen, this is going to be the best celebrity spot in WrestleMania ever. And he comes out there and dominates. Like he's just athletic. He would cross over into WWE so well just because of his persona, his charisma, his body. I mean, he looked like the pro wrestler in the ring. Everybody else didn't look like the pro wrestler. And then he's young and athletic, man. Yeah. He would crush it. He would crush it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a wrestling fan at all?
No, I'm not. But I've gotten into a little bit of the fighting and boxing and UFC just because of kind of the main culture I feel like is pulling people towards that. And I just thought that was interesting with the Logan Paul. And then I saw kind of looking at your stuff that you were in that world as well. So I figured I'd ask you.
Yeah, man, it's wild. It's very different than like the real world. I'll tell you that. It's a very politic heavy back there because like there's no, you can't, the best athlete doesn't win. It's whoever the promoter wants to win wins or the booker that wants. So it's just like, who wants to be nice to who to get the rub. It is what it is. But anyways, so what else you got going on? What's the plans for the next, next year, next 3 years, next 5 years with the company?
Yeah, so the plan is actually very similar to kind of what we were talking about earlier, is really working on the branding and marketing of a full enterprise solution for having a program that is for everyone under the umbrella of the company. Right now, I'm known as we're known as the people who've got programs for drivers. And I want to keep that as a forefront because I think for a lot of at least companies that have asset-based fleets, it's the people with the highest risk. It's the people who, the CEOs and HR people are, maybe staying up or losing sleep because of, failed DOT physicals, scares from a health perspective. You hate to see it, but you open up Facebook every once in a while and you see an article of driver who was found dead at a truck stop because of a heart attack or something crazy like that. And that's the last thing that anyone wants to happen. But I think, unfortunately, it's not this every out of the blue crazy thing. It happens more often than, I think potentially people in transportation would like to admit. And so we really want to stay focused and show that, hey, we've built this solution. We've built this for drivers, and there's a program that's designed for them, in their truck, eating healthier at fast food restaurants, eating healthier at truck stops, and just meeting them where they're at and giving them the ability to just get started somewhere. And it doesn't have to be this 180 flip, but also branding it as, hey, we've got programs for warehouse, we've got programs for brokers and dispatchers and office staff, and being able to be a third party vendor that comes in and really provides an amazing health and fitness solution for companies to their employees.
Well, I think it's great. I think this industry needs it. I think that you definitely have a spot in this industry. I will help out however I can as far as spreading the word. What's the easiest way for people to find you? I know that you got the trucking fitness company LinkedIn page, your Twitter. Where else can they find you?
Yeah, so I would say find me on LinkedIn at Dr. Mark Manera. If you look up the trucking fitness company on any social media or our website, truckingfit.com, you can find us there, and feel free to reach out. And we'd love to work with, anyone who is trying to, improve the health and fitness of their employees.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. Really enjoyed the conversation. If you're ever in Chattanooga or coming through Tennessee or in Atlanta, this area, hit me up. Let's get a workout in. And
I would love to do that.
Let's enjoy it. Yeah,
I would
man.
love to do that. Yeah,
hey, there's a Freight Waves conference in like November in Chattanooga. If you come to it, I don't know if you're coming to it or not. If you come to it, let's get a workout in.
Okay. Yeah. I gotta look and see. I don't know if you've seen, I've been writing for Freight Waves, some articles on health and fitness, and I'm doing some stuff. I'm actually going to be on What the Truck later today, and doing some stuff with Dooner with their new thing, Back the Truck Up. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
But so I might have to dabble and get to the conference in November and meet some of the Freight Waves people that I've been meeting online.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there, and I'm from Chattanooga. I'm trying to get there. I'm from Chattanooga, so I mean,
wait, where are you at? You're not in Chattanooga anymore?
No, I am, but it's still hard to get to places.
Yeah, okay,
it's so busy,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Little League Baseball, man, on the weekends is crazy. All these little sports that has to go on, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. Anyways, man, hey, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get off here and get back to work. You get back to work, and we'll see you next time. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.